A couple of films have garnered quite a large following over the past few years. Two films about African-American men, and it's not what you might expect.
For better or worse, richer or poor, you'll come out all right. Don't forget I'm psychic.
Kevin's Room and its sequel, Kevin's Room 2, Trust, are a unique look into the lives of black gay men. The title character, Kevin, played by Keith Butler, is a health counselor who forms a support group. It is from this setting that the film begins to open up the lives of its characters and reveal the issues they face.
Think about it. It's not that easy to get HIV.
I think a lot of people living with HIV might disagree with you.
Well, then, let's just say I'm not willing to give up living my life just to stay alive.
The films were conceived by Lora Branch of the city's public health department. As director of the Office of Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Health, or LGBT, she saw a dire need to address the concerns of this particular community.
The genesis of Kevin's Room really happened several years ago when we were faced with the crisis in the black gay community, among black gay men, which is that AIDS disproportionately really impacts this group across the country in ways that is equivalent to what we see in sub-Saharan Africa, where there's an estimated 1 in 3 young gay men living with HIV, young black gay men.
All your vitals and lab work looks okay, Charles. You're doing a good job.
Really?
Lora knew she needed to approach the issue with creativity and sensitivity.
We wanted to create something that people wanted instead of chasing after them with pamphlets and brochures and billboards that they ignore.
Lora was branching out into new territories.
All right, condom package, little conversation, what else?
The test, Paris. That's the most important part. Get them to come into the van to take the test.
Right.
She came up with an idea that combined both her skills as a writer and producer and her outreach work within the gay community.
And I found it was something that I had to do. I had to honor those people that were no longer here and find a way to reach out to people who needed to hear this message. I really felt that the presence of black LGBT folks, black gay men specifically, is non-existent. And when people are invisible, they feel less worthy and people take more risk. And I felt like it was just sort of a calling for me that I needed to do something to address this issue.
So Lora enlisted the help of local filmmaker and artist-in-residence at Columbia College, Sharon Zurek. Her company, Black Cat Productions, had been on the lookout for new and interesting projects.
And I thought, well, this would be a great way to work with actors in character roles and to be doing educational pieces and entertaining at the same time. So I met with Lora, and as the project developed, it became very clear that this was something special and different.
She was just as passionate about these ideas as I was. She was also able to really breathe life into it. I mean, it was just a concept. It was sort of a loose script. You know, we sort of knew where we wanted to go. But she and her passion and her friends and, you know, people working for nothing and half and, you know, half their rate were able to really say, well, this is how this needs to go. They really sort of brought the professional edge, the professional techniques, the strategies to make it happen.
The two women found they worked well together and each brought a unique sense of balance to the project. They tapped into each other's strengths and connections.
Well, one thing I have to say is I have met so many people through Lora. I mean, I thought I knew a lot of people, and I talked everybody I knew, all my friends, all my peers, into helping on this project. She did equally, and I always tease her about Friends of Lora Branch. There used to be the Friends of Bill Clinton. Now it's the Friends of Lora Branch.
Lora and Sharon brought together a broad range of talent, including actors, community activists, film professionals, and film students to bring the characters and story to life, and most importantly, to an audience.
Well, the first time that it aired, people were really very supportive and appreciative that we did this. I mean, that was really the comment that we get when we did film festivals, when we show screenings, is that people were saying, it's about time. You know, there's nothing for our community on any, I mean, it was the first time that you'd ever seen a relationship, an affirmative relationship between two black gay men.
Kevin and his partner Jaleel take a journey together in the first episode of Kevin's Room that culminates in the film's cliffhanger ending.
With the first one, we did want to create something that was, I shouldn't say incomplete, but that left the audience wanting more. And we did that actually with no resources, but just the hope, you know, that we'd be able to get it financed. We work with some pharmaceutical companies. We work with some local folks, some private donors, certainly the health department, the Centers for Disease Control, the Office of Minority Health. After the first one was released, they really saw that, okay, this was good, this went over well. We buy it, you know, we'll pitch in and we'll make the next one happen.
And the next one did happen, and it picks up where the first left off with some interesting new developments. And of course, the possibility for more episodes down the line.
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, if the characters are engaging enough, it's life. Life goes on. There's many issues that could be discussed, and people evolve and change and interact with each other. There's new characters. We introduced 2 new characters this time out. Sky's the limit, I think.
When Lora set out to tell these stories, it wasn't limitation she encountered, but support. After all, the Chicago Office of LGBT Health is one of only 3 in the nation.
It wasn't surprising to me that the city and the health department would support a project like Kevin's Room, because that is very much in line with the philosophy about honoring populations and not only honoring them, but protecting them and serving them in the way that all people should be served.
Lora hopes that this kind of social marketing will continue to impact the community it is targeting.
I mean, there's so many stories. There's countless stories of people saying, you know, I just met my partner and we hadn't had that conversation, so I thought, oh, we'll go to the screening and then we can have the conversation. A young man that I know who was, you know, just starting a new relationship did that. He took his partner, they had the conversation, they got a test together.
Recently, cast and crew gathered for the broadcast premiere of Kevin's Room 2, Trust, on WCIU Channel 26. It was also an indication of what the future has in store for the characters in the Kevin's Room series.